Hey traders, it's Taylor with Top Pick Trading. Back for a Wednesday chart review. It's Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024. You can see we had an uptrend today. It's the day before Independence Day, so there was not much volume. Somewhat difficult uptrend to find, but right at the end of the day, it closed at 1 p.m. Eastern today, and right then we came off the high here, which confirmed that channel officially. But there were some other shorter-term uptrends in here, so let's get started on the review. Not too much volume to review. So 8 o'clock came right in here. You can see we're having V-shaped moves up and down, big up, big down. This downtrend wasn't all that clear, but it looks like it has a break and new low. Bottomed out here, right at this previous little support area. We get a triple test, but looks like we're within that downtrend, so nothing there. And then by the time the higher low forms, it's looking really congested. Same with the failure right there. Pushes higher, we come right up to these overnight highs. We turn down, we get this second entry here, but no signal bar, unfortunately, on this chart. We push up, we actually get another second entry right here, but it's right before this news item, like a minute or two. This PMI number right here, and by the time it closed anyway, it's right into the highs, so no trade there. It pushes higher, comes back, tests the support again, unfortunately no bar. And then at this point, you know, we're slicing through that overnight high level, so it's not much of a factor. Pushes higher, nothing here. We got the break, no new high from this golden uptrend yet. You wouldn't have had this one just yet till it pushes strongly down. You get this lower high, but there's some support there. And you may still want to retest this uptrend right here. So it's also getting close to this overnight level, which now has been acting as support. So I don't think that's a trade there. It's a nice bar, but that's about it in my opinion. Pushes down, bounces at that previous support level now. Pushes up, you get this higher low. It's a really good bar, but you can see at this point we've got big up, big down, big up, big down. And it's kind of just mid-range. I'm worried about this downtrend right here, retesting. It was pretty strong. You wouldn't have this uptrend yet, like I mentioned earlier. You do have two touches off the bottom and two off the top, so it may be, you know, you may be starting to think it's valid, but it's not for sure yet. So yeah, I'm worried this downtrend is going to want to retest. So you get this second entry short. Problem now is you pushed above that EMA. You didn't make a new high on the signal bar. So I don't like the short there. We also traded up into this range. But then by the same token, you get this failure, which once again is mid-range. I'm worried about a little lower high forming, pushing down and retesting. So you have to just kind of sit tight on both sides here. You're afraid of shorts because we traded up into this area, and you're afraid of longs because this downtrend may retest. So anything mid-range like this, you can clearly see this range. Anything mid-range can really be risky. So I think you got to sit out of both sides there. You know, you get some good bars here, so I get it if you took one of these, but this just doesn't have a new low yet. So anyway, pushes higher. You turn off this resistance once again, you get a good bar, but now clearly you've got this uptrend in place, so no setup there. You get the lower high, but it's right into that EMA. Then you get this technical second entry, but same reason you stay out of the lower high, which is the EMA. Being too close is the similar reason you stay out of the long. You're too close to this resistance now, where we've turned, you know, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. So this would be the 7th if it pushed back up. So you can see that body's not testing the EMA yet either. You came off the resistance, so you really need the EMA showing support. And here we're just kind of floating sideways. So no trade there. It would have stopped you out. Now you come back and you test what's more important in a range, which is the midline. So if you think a trend's probably going to retest within a range, you don't necessarily trust that EMA on the break. You trust the midline a little bit more. So especially after it's shown itself to be support, which is the case right here. You can see it bounce several times, bounces resistance here. So and then kind of support here a little bit below it. But so we test that midline now, and you could say this is a double top. You know, this kind of looks like 2 legs back already, but those bodies are equal there. So by that same token, you could justify, in my opinion, calling that a second entry. You know, it comes, the tail touches this wider uptrend right here, and you're touching that midline with a nice bar. So, you know, I get if you took that. I'm still a little bit afraid that we turned off this resistance so many times. Still not all that much room. But if I had to pick between these two, I would definitely take my chances on this one. Obviously, it's the one that works in the end, but there's a reason for that. So it's a deeper pullback. So if you took that, I understand. I still would probably lay off both of them. So it does work. Pushes higher. You get 2 legs to a new high. Comes back. This channel right here was a little odd. It's drawn from the first break of this blue channel, which usually you don't want to do. You want to let something play out, then correct. But in my opinion, it ended up being valid. You can see it confirms here. You get a failure right here that confirms that trend line twice more. It's not drawn from the wick. You had to kind of adjust it to make it fit, but it ends up fitting pretty well like that. So anyway, you get the failure here. The problem is it's very sideways and congested there. The bar closes below the EMA. There's a good chance that it's going to trap there, but honestly not until it gets above this area. That's probably where those shorts replace their stops. So I think taking it right in here is just too risky, so no trade there, unfortunately. It does show that trend line to be confirmed. It pushes back here. We come back, we get a second entry, but a bad bar right here. We come up here, and now we push down here. This is really like a double top in my opinion. The way I saw this was a 2-legged correction, then another little 2-legged correction, and then came down 1 leg, 2 legs. So this is the second leg. So it's kind of like 2 legs within 2 legs. This is kind of the middle of the pattern right here. So if you kind of could justify thinking of it that way, and you treated this as like a double top, you got this second entry high or low right here. The main thing is this green uptrend hasn't retested, and we're bouncing at this big blue uptrend key entry point. So perfect bar. You can see those shorts that sold it low. It instantly reverses on them. So I like dropping a limit on this. That's what I actually did. Took this trade. Then it comes back and gives you another higher low right here. And if you saw this as 2 legs, you could consider that a failure. You can see that the tail of that bar, signal bar right there, just touches that key entry point and just rockets higher. And this happened very quickly. You got them trapped when it pushes through like that. So unfortunately, by the time it closed, it's kind of high. But I think this is a blue trade if you took this on the engulfing entry. I really like engulfing on that one. So with that juicy of a short bar, there's some people that entered this, probably playing some wider downtrend like this. Either way, that has an overshoot. So, and you're expecting, the upper bias to continue for several reasons in here. So, I like that trade a lot too. So, either one of these are nice. This one I think you need to take on a limit. It does close above that EMA, but these bars like this will often retrace a good bit, and it did. So, anyway, it pushes higher. By this point, you're about 20 minutes before the close. So. Nothing else there. So, and it really just slowed down here the last couple minutes. So yeah, those are the 2 trades I saw today. Not much else. You got some good bars today, but unfortunately, in my opinion, the context just wasn't all that clear in a lot of these spots, like this lower high here, the higher low here, the failure right here. Just not so sure of the context there. Luckily, we got 2 more decent setups later on. So, and if you did get a good bar right here, and it looked a little bit less congested, maybe you consider that failure there, but fortunately on this chart it just doesn't look all that great. So anyway, thanks for watching. I think the market is going to be open on Friday, so I'll plan to do a bar by bar if there is enough volume. If it's really slow, I may wait until next week. Sorry, last week we didn't put anything up. Marco was busy and I was out of town on vacation, so hopefully we get back into the regular swing of things coming up. So I hope everybody has a good Independence Day, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.